Now, Kinsey, it's awards season in the US. The Sussex's Netflix series has been nominated for a Hollywood Critics Award, but it's been snubbed apparently from the Emmy shortlist.
Harry humiliated at Dorian TV Awards over royal title. It began as another glittering Hollywood night, all champagne laughs and bright studio lights, but the moment Prince Harry walked into the Dorian TV Awards, the air shifted. Gossip blogs had whispered that he expected special treatment, yet no one believed the rumors until they watched his security weave through the crowd as if clearing a royal procession that no longer existed. Stars glanced over their shoulders, curious, a little amused, waiting to see which Harry would appear tonight. The wounded veteran, the California dad, or the Duke who never quite abdicated his pride. Inside the ballroom, the Society of LGBTQ Entertainment Critics had planned an evening of wit and celebration, honoring shows that broke boundaries without bending protocol. GALECA's producers rehearsed sponsor reads, verified envelope names, and double-checked one stubborn detail. Prince Harry would be introduced without the styling His Royal Highness. That decision, rooted in the 2020 Megxit agreement, felt simple to them. To Harry, it felt like treason. Hours earlier, his team had quietly requested that the honorific remain. The polite refusal arrived, and tension slid through the green room like ice water. The program opened with a rapid-fire monologue, applause rippling through the hall, cameras swooping across sequined gowns. Harry occupied a second-row aisle seat, posture rigid, smile thin. When the host finally mentioned his name, omitting the contested title, a crack ran straight through his composure. Observers later swore his jaw tightened like a vice. He leaned toward an aide, lips moving in a sharp rhythm, and whatever words passed between them drained the color from that aide's face.
Everyone celebrating this, the Hollywood Critics Association is plagued by scandal. They've recently seen a ton of people resign from.
On stage, the comedian carried on, unaware that a more dramatic performance was brewing in row 2. Without warning, Harry rose, shoulders squared, cheeks flushed. Conversation died in his wake as he strode up the aisle, velvet ropes parting. One producer blinked, describing the exit afterward as the kind of walk you take when you believe the room owes you more than oxygen. Doors swung, bulbs flashed, and the prince who once joked with astronauts about zero gravity stepped into a gravity entirely of his own making. He had come to celebrate television, but now every lens pointed at his retreating back, turning a single name card into the evening's main event.
How about this? Frogsit. Couldn't happen to a nicer couple. Harry and Meghan have been kicked out of their Frogmore cottage in Windsor after the publication of Spare, or as South Park would have it, Wah! The book in which basically Harry...
Social media devours spectacle faster than any press agency, and the footage landed online before the final award was announced. Hashtags bloomed. Chang Tantrum King, Mar Prince of Nothing, Mienda Title Trauma. Critics who had expected to tweet wry observations about streaming series instead composed threads praising GALECA for standing firm. Industry veterans whispered approval too. One Oscar winner was overheard saying, "It's about time someone treated the Sussex Circus like a regular act." A low ripple of relief, almost audible, rolled through agents who feared being seated near the blast radius of royal ego. Tabloids, sensing blood, expanded the narrative.
Of a plank like Prince Harry, as he was once known, now known as the Duke of Netflix, or Hazza. He's not only kiboshed everybody else's name in the book, including the woman who he lost his virginity to, but he's also kiboshed his own name, and kiboshed, I suspect, his own career.
They reminded readers of Frogmore Cottage, vacated after Harry's memoir detonated across bestseller lists. They conjured Spotify's abrupt parting and whispered that Netflix executives were tallying cost versus controversy in hushed boardrooms. Brand experts quoted by morning shows called Harry high-maintenance PR risk and advised sponsors to step back until the headlines cooled. Even late-night hosts, usually sympathetic, joked that the only crown he still wore was a plastic one from the gift shop of public goodwill. Meanwhile, Buckingham Palace said nothing. The silence was surgical, almost serene. Insiders leaked that King Charles felt quietly vindicated, noting this outburst proved why the firm had trimmed privileges after Megxit. One aide reportedly quipped, "Imagine the chaos if he'd handled the Commonwealth tour this year." The comment never made it into official statements, but it ricocheted through Fleet Street like a silver bullet. As royal reporters dissected body language and seating charts, polls emerged showing most viewers believed GALECA had done the right thing. The impact on the prince's personal identity was harsher than any headline. For years, he had balanced two competing images: soldier turned philanthropist versus disillusioned royal turned Hollywood storyteller. Tonight, those roles collided. Denied the address he thought indispensable, he discovered how quickly a roomful of strangers refiles you under unimportant guest. Veterans groups that once championed Invictus echoed disappointment, pointing out that rank in uniform means less than composure under fire. Online psychologists diagnosed entitlement in real time, yet the night's final twist unfolded far from the awards stage. Back in Montecito, Meghan Markle remained conspicuously absent, her silence shading the event with deeper intrigue. Sources close to the Duchess suggested she foresaw trouble and chose distance over damage control. Cynics argued she would have attended had the evening promised applause rather than potential embarrassment. Either way, her absence framed Harry alone beneath the spotlight of consequence, and the contrast was brutal. By dawn, every major outlet, from CNN to The Guardian, ran variations on the same headline: Prince Harry storms out after title snub. Comment sections brimmed with sarcasm. Memes depicting a plastic crown sliding off a cartoon prince trended beside clips of security escorting him past bemused ushers. Public patience, already frayed, unraveled further. The narrative sharpening around him became simple. You cannot demand old reverence while renouncing old responsibility. Beyond the meme factory, serious questions lingered. Analysts noted that if Netflix terminated its rumored second-wave documentary slate, the Sussex business model would wobble. Corporate deals now hinge on likability metrics, and tantrums tank metrics. One senior publicist, granted anonymity, summarized the dilemma. You can't sell resilience and dignity when the talent walks out over a styling cue. Investors listen closely when publicists speak that bluntly. Amid the chaos, another persistent controversy resurfaced: the lineage mystery surrounding Archie and Lilibet. Nothing in the evening's program referenced the children, yet online commentators seized the moment. They connected Harry's obsession with titles to the unanswered questions about his heirs standing in the line of succession. Why, they asked again, had there been no traditional christening at St. George's Chapel? Why the palace reluctance to publish full documentation? No evidence changed hands, but rumors feed on silence, and the Sussex silence remained thunderous. For viewers who once cheered Harry's break for freedom, the evening crystallized a harsher story. They saw a man unmoored, drifting between the palace he spurned and the entertainment capital that increasingly views him as unpredictable overhead. Doors that once opened with a discreet nod to ancestry now wait for proof of calm competence before turning their handles. Hollywood forgives almost any scandal except inconvenience, and Harry has become inconvenient. As afternoon sun warmed Los Angeles boulevards, photographers caught him leaving a private exit of his hotel, head down, jaw set. The look wasn't sorrow, it was calculation, each step measuring the distance between humiliation and the next chance to reframe the narrative. His team issued no statement, hinting they understood the danger of adding volume to the roar. Crisis managers often advise silence, hoping news cycles turn, but silence can also sound like concession if the world has already judged. That judgment carried a lesson sharper than royal protocol. Titles are echoes, character is voice. The Dorian Awards did not strip Harry of anything he still legally possessed. They simply declined to pretend. In their mirror, he glimpsed the plain fact that legacy must be earned anew when you step outside ancestral walls. Cameras kept rolling, social feeds kept scrolling, and the man once hailed as the people's prince stood revealed, crownless, restless, trying to conjure deference from a past he abandoned. What happens next hinges less on how the palace might negotiate than on how Harry might change. Redemption is possible. Hollywood adores a comeback, but comebacks demand humility, patience, and work performed off stage. Whether he can trade reflexive pride for steady purpose remains uncertain. For now, the image lingers. A prince framed by paparazzi flashes, hurrying toward a car door, leaving behind an auditorium still applauding winners who never asked for royal styling, only recognition earned. One irony cannot be ignored. The very award show Harry disrupted exists to honor stories of personal transformation. Each winner that night, streaming auteurs, queer trailblazers, actors who fought for authentic representation, demonstrated that identity is something you build, not inherit. The applause Harry missed was for evolution, not entitlement. If he ever returns to such a stage, the path is clear. Arrive as Henry Mountbatten Windsor. Veteran, father, advocate, listener. Leave the ornamental prefixes at the door. Audiences react to honesty faster than pageantry. And in an age of instant playback, sincerity is the only title that never fades. Until then, the crownless drift in widening circles.